Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking a second look at the Fujifilm X-S20, and here it is. Now, the X-S20 is the upgrade or the second version of the X-S10. It's got the same sensor in it as the X-S10, 26 megapixel X-Trans sensor, but it's got an upgraded processor inside. The buttons and functions are all upgraded, so it is quite a different camera, even though it has the same sensor. So in theory, the image quality should be pretty much identical, if not very similar, to the X-S10. But it's got a faster burst rate than what the X-S10 has, and video features so much more than what the X-S10 has, such as 10-bit internal 422 recording. The X-S10 was only 8-bit internal recording, so you know, quite a few differences, and it's well worth the upgrade to the X-S20. If you're a Fuji user, maybe you already have the X-S10. Certainly if you're into video production, it's worth getting the X-S20. I'm loving it. I'm loving the grip. The grip is slightly larger than the X-S10 purely because of a bigger battery. It's got the W235 or WS235 battery in the X-S20. That's bigger than the 126 battery that's in the X-S10. So you get about twice the amount of battery life on this camera. And the good thing with power, you can power it via USB. So it's got USB-C ports on the side here, or one port on the side here, as well as micro HDMI on the side. So that's handy, and it's also got a mic jack, which is great as well. And then on this side, it's got your headphone jack, which is really handy just under this flap. So with the X-S10, you had to use a USB-C dongle to monitor your audio and plug a headphones into this USB-C dongle. You don't need to with this camera. They've actually put a headphone jack. And I actually like the fact it's on the other side of the camera. A lot of people have been criticising that. I actually like it because when you're fumbling around, certainly in this darker situation in my studio here, I can actually get to the mic jack, and I know that because there's only one port on that side, I know that's the mic jack. I'm not going to plug the mic into the wrong port if they're both together. So personally, I find that useful that they have separated the mic jack to where the headphone jack is. Although I do appreciate if you're hand holding it and you want to plug a headphones into the port, then that is just a little bit awkward because obviously your hand is going to obscure the port. So it's all horses for courses, really. What works for one person doesn't work for somebody else, does it? Yeah, amazing video camera because of all the codecs that are built into this camera. Also, it has a 6K open gate video recording as well. That's a feature where it uses the entire size of a sensor for capturing the video. So it's not 16:9. You're actually getting more headroom, and then you crop it to 16:9 when you actually come to do the edit. But it's also ideal if you're doing content for the likes of TikTok or for Instagram or whatever. So you can actually create that, you know, with different aspect ratios according to what you're filming with. Obviously it does do 16:9, which is great, and it's 4K 16:9 oversampled, so you get a beautiful image, beautiful sharp image with this. The lenses are lovely with the Fujifilm, and that's another reason why I love the Fujifilm X-S20. Very much like the Sony E mount, there's a very, very wide range of lenses available for the Fuji system. Be it Fuji's own lenses, I picked up a really cost-effective lens, the XC 35mm lens. Optically, it's exactly the same as the XF 35, but it's not weather sealed and it's plastic with a plastic mount. So of course it's a lot cheaper, but it's an incredibly beautiful lens. I actually did some filming, I've done a lot of filming with the X-S20, and I've used the XF 35mm lens when I've not been using my Sony A6700, and it still creates that lovely depth between myself and the background here in the studio here. Today I'm actually using my A6700, and I've got the Sigma 30mm lens fitted to that, and again I'm shooting at f1.6, so I'm getting that lovely depth between myself and the background. This lens creates a very, very similar, almost identical sort of look to what this the Sony setup does. I also have the the XC 15 to 45 lens. That's what's fitted to the camera at the moment. A really, really nice compact, again, plastic fantastic lens, but optically it's really good. And I don't mind the plastic lenses because they're really lightweight. It makes the whole kit really, really lightweight, and that's great for traveling. There is one downside: it isn't weather sealed. The lenses are not weather sealed. The camera body isn't weather sealed. So just be a bit conscious of that and be a little bit careful if you are taking it out into rainy weather, storms and whatever. I wouldn't want to, but then I'm a fair weather shooter anyway, as opposed to a bad weather shooter. Now, the features that this has is great. It's got plenty of dials. It's got your PASM dial on the top here, fairly traditional. It's not traditional for Fuji. Most Fuji cameras, other than the XS10, have got like ISO dials, shutter speed control dial on the top, aperture ring around the lens. This isn't traditional. This is more like the Sony would be, or the Canons, or Panasonic. And I like that because that's what I'm used to. I do like that. I don't have a problem with that one little bit. And I like the handling. As I said earlier, really, really nice grip because it's got the larger battery in the camera body. And they've also got on here a vlog mode. Vlog mode is really handy for novices and for professionals. It takes you into video filming straight away. So you turn the dial, as I showed you, into vlog, and you're set up ready for doing your presentation to camera. If you do want to make any fine adjustments, you can still do that. You go onto the screen here and you click on vlog, and it brings up a sub menu, so you can adjust if you're doing product showcases, you can turn that off and on. You've got IBIS you can turn off and on. You see that, turn IBIS on and off. Electronic IBIS as well, so you've got IBIS, electronic stabilization, and it's got various other settings you can set in there, and then to get out of that you just click on that, and then you're out of that. You can also go into the quick menu. There's a little Q button at the top here. You go into the quick menu. That brings up the video menu for setting up your shutter speed, your apertures, what resolution you want to shoot in, whether it be 4K, HD, DCI, whatever it might want to be, you can set up there as well. So very, very useful feature, but you can go into that without having to, set everything else up manually. It's really quick and easy if you do want to get some quick vlogs, and I do like that, and it's really, really handy. Another great feature that I really like, it has got a red record frame. So when you go into recording, it brings up a red record frame around the screen, so you can actually see that it's actually filming. And I've also got tally lights turned on, so you've got an amber light on the back there to show that it is actually recording, and then also there's a tally light on the front of the camera so you can see that it is actually filming. And that's great if you're presenting to camera, so you can clearly see the camera is recording. That's one of the things I love about my ZV-E10. I can see there my ZV-E10 is recording, the red tally light is on, and my ZV-1. Really handy. My A6700 doesn't have that feature. Now you can turn these tally lights on and off, or you can make them blink. So, it's not set to a specific feature. You can do that, what you want with that. But the fact that it has got tally lights that you can turn on or off, I think is a really, really useful feature. It has got 10-bit internal video recording. I think that is great, internal to the SD card. There is only one SD card, so be conscious of that. But then again, the A6700 only has a one SD card. So I know for some people, if you're recording live events, you're recording weddings, you might find that really nervous that you have only got the one card. But I haven't found any corruptions. I've never had an SD card go corrupt on me. I don't have an issue with it, but then I'm not filming professionally. Possibly if I was doing it professionally, like I used to do, then maybe I would want a camera that has two SD cards or some form of memory storage rather than just relying on the one card. But there is only the one SD card in here. It is a UHS 2 card, so it will record at high speeds, and it's great for doing, fast capturing if you're doing photography and you want burst capture, and it's great for your 4K and your 6K open gate. It does have USB power delivery. That's a USB-C port, just plugged straight into the side of the camera, so you can plug a USB-C power block or power supply on the side there. So if you are doing long content filming, you don't have to worry about the battery running out, because it won't. It'll keep on going while you've got the power delivery going into it. Now, apparently this camera does overheat. I've not managed to get it to overheat, but then I've just been filming in 4K 25p. So maybe if I filmed at 4K 60p or 6K open gate, it would overheat. I don't know. But I've not managed to get it to overheat, and I've been filming for quite a few hours. But you can buy it's called the Fan 001, which was designed for the H2 and the H2S. That will fit on the back here. There's two screw ports on the back of the camera, but you can screw the fan into, and it will work with this particular camera. So that's a great additional feature if you are doing any long form content. If you are doing videos that you are concerned that it might overheat, at least you can, you know, put a battery on it. The autofocus in video is great. It's got human eye detect and animal eye detect in video, and it's beautiful. Again, when I've done that film of me presenting to camera, it worked great. Even with my hands wandering around in front of the lens, it didn't change to my hands. It stayed locked on my face. And I'm finding my A6700 does do that as well. It really does lock on my face, and it's really, really good. Where my ZV-E10 does tend to want to focus on my hands as opposed to my face if my hands fall in front of my face for too long. I'm finding with the A6700 and the Fujifilm X-S20, it really does lock on the person that you're filming, and I find that great. And again, autofocus for stills is fantastic. It's really, really nice. And the fact that I can move a focus point around easily, either by using the just tapping on the screen, or by actually looking with the viewfinder and moving it across the screen, is wonderful. So, you know, all works really, really well. There are 4 custom modes on the top, C1 to C4. I've got 2 set up for photography and 2 set up for video. So if you've got, like, you might want to set up for slow motion or set up for open gate, then you can go to one of those custom modes and set it up for that. For photography, I've got one set up with animal eye detect and one set up for just normal human eye detect. And that's great for quickly switching between the two. Unfortunately, there isn't a quick and easy way to change from human eye detect to animal eye detect, and I find that really frustrating. You have to dig into the menu. And also, what's really annoying, when you come out of animal eye detect, it doesn't automatically go back to human eye detect. You have to go back into the menu and switch that back on. And I really wish, and I really do hope, Fujifilm do bring up a firmware update that enables it to switch automatically back to human eye detect. So what I've done as a temporary measure until they do upgrade the firmware, I hope they do, I've had to use up 2 function buttons on this camera to set that up, and that's a little bit annoying. I've used the red record button because I don't need that for when I'm taking photographs. I'll just turn it to video or one of the custom modes. So I've got the red record button set up for turning on detection mode. Now that will turn on detection mode. Turn that on, then detection mode will come on. And I've also got it set to, in the menu, I've set it to animal detect. So when I turn that on, it'll quickly switch to animal detect, and I'm now in animal detect. That is great. But when I turn that off, turn animal detect off, that is great, but it doesn't automatically turn human eye detect back on. So now I've got this command dial here, which comes out of the box set up for adjusting your film simulations. I've now got that set up for turning human eye detect back on, whether it be right eye, left eye, or automatic. And I've had to do that simply because it doesn't do it automatically. But at least now, fairly quickly, I can certainly go into animal detect very quickly, one push of a button, and then turn it off, and then use this dial to turn human eye detect back on. So it works fine, but it just means I've had to use 2 function buttons. It took me a little while to work out why I couldn't see the audio display. It was simply because I had large text turned on, but swipe it across there, and then the large text will come up, so you can see your shutter speed, your apertures, exposure compensation easily, but you can't see the audio levels. but swipe it across again and now you can see the audio levels. So very good. I've got my back button, this control command dial here for setting up the exposure compensation, and the front command dial for setting up the either shutter speed or aperture depending on what mode I'm in. Yeah, very nicely controlled, and as I say, plenty of function buttons for me, and very easy to use when you're out and about taking photographs or taking video. 3-inch articulating screen, but that's pretty common these days for most cameras. No problem at all with that. That works out absolutely fine. Viewfinder's 2.7 million dot viewfinder. It's quite large and it's really sharp, and that's fine for me, again, for my eyesight. And again, with this large display, small display and what have you, you can set that up in the viewfinder as well. I've got it set up for large display, again, because of my eyesight. I find that really, really handy. For video, there is no video record limit. That is really, really useful. Obviously, that will depend on how long the battery power is, and also whether it's going to overheat. I've not managed to get it to overheat, as I've said before. But there is no video record limit if you're filming in 1080, 4K, whatever you might be filming in. So there we go. That's a quick look, or a second look, at the Fujifilm X-S20. Let's have a quick look at some of the photographs while we're here. Now, these photographs are taken with various lenses. That's another great thing with the Fujifilm X mount system. There's such a wide range of lenses available. I've also got the TT Artisan, really cheap, 150 quid lens here. This is a 27mm lens. It's got an aperture ring. Takes really nice images. I like it. I've had no issues with it. And again, great for street photography because it's sheer compact size. So really, really nice little compact lens, that one. And there are a very wide range of lenses available, whether they be from Tamron, Sigma, Fujifilm, very much like the Sony E-mount system. Now, photographs are really, really lovely. That 26 megapixel sensor is really, really good. And you're guaranteed some really, really nice images. Dynamic range is beautiful. Sharpness is wonderful with that sensor. And it looks so filmic looking. It doesn't look digital. And that's one thing I love about Fujifilm images, whether it be from the X-S20 or the X-S10 or the X-T3, whatever they might be from. Very, very filmic looking, sharp, but not digitally sharp. Just like the tonality. Look at the tonality of that. Beautiful tonality. Really, really good. And it doesn't seem to matter what lens you fit on that on that camera body. It's going to produce lovely, lovely images. If you're looking for a camera that takes great images, great video, you're not going to go far wrong with a Fujifilm camera. And particularly the X-S20. It's compact. It's got built-in IBIS. And it's really comfortable to use. Great ergonomics, great 10-bit video. I think it's an all-round package, apart from the fact it isn't weather sealed and it has only got the one SD card slot. So you might want to go for the XT4 or the XT5 if you are a professional and you want, well, the XT5 if you want that in-body image stabilization and weather sealed. But other than that, I mean, it's a great pro-consumer camera and will produce professional results. So yeah, I love my X-S20. I'm really enjoying it and getting some great images with it. As I said, don't forget to take a look at them on my Flickr page. That would be really, really good. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content like this about Fujifilm cameras and Sony cameras and what have you. So there we go. That's the Fujifilm X-S20. Thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos relating to this camera, more cameras, audio gear and what have you. Cheers for now, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers for now. Bye.